fastball scored another run. And then they hit the big solo home run, so it's a one-run game. And you could just see and feel that we didn't cash in on a scoring opportunity. We run a guy over, second and third, less than 2 outs, we don't score. And there was just a lot of traffic on the bases that we had, and just we were putting zeros up, and we weren't scoring. And so when Jimmy Kerr hit the huge home run there, I thought that was a little bit of a breather that our guys needed. When Jordan Brewer threw the guy out at third, I thought that was a huge play at the time. And then Joe Donovan's insurance home run was big as well. But we're not in that spot. We're not here without Tommy Henry. And the last 3 performances that he's had, just absolutely incredible. So for what he did tonight, to hold down, maybe the best offense in the country, 1 through 9, that was remarkable.
What did you say to him on the mound in the ninth as you took the ball from him?
That was a cool moment where I just really wanted to thank him for the 3 years that he spent at Michigan, and just took the opportunity on the mound in the College World Series to tell him kind of what he's meant to our program and how he's emptied the tank and poured his heart and soul into this team and our program. So glad he got the ovation that he got. But we saw his final performance tonight wearing a Michigan jersey, and so that was really cool because it was great.
What has he meant to this program?
Well, he's just inspired a future generation of Michigan pitchers of what hard work, what leadership, what intangible skills, what character, what toughness, what all the things look like that allow good performances to take place. Everybody wants to be a good pitcher, and not everybody puts in the hard work that it takes and what it requires. And he's done that. He's done it for 3 years, and he especially did it this past year by taking the fall off and really making a huge commitment to his strength and conditioning, to his body, and to the design of his pitches with Coach Feder and the work that they did, just really mastering his craft. And we've seen the best version of Tommy Henry this year. He's been outstanding. It's been awesome. It's going to be missed. But there's a lot of younger guys in our program that are going to remember what they saw from him, and it's going to inspire them to be better as well.
Coach, thanks so much for the time.
All right, thank you.
You're not going anymore.
Oh, okay.
Here we come. Here we come.
I don't know why. I just try to stay out of their way, guys. It's really, if you want to know the secret. No, Criswell threw 9 pitches, so he's an option, and then we may do some type of, committee deal where we throw a lot of guys. I've talked to Coach Feder, but like I said in there, it'll either be a righty or a lefty. We'll figure it out. But Criswell's a real option, and we could also go Isaiah Page, Walker Cleveland, Ben Kaiser, Jack Weisenberger, Angelo Smith, Blake Beers, Jack Bredesen, Joe Hayes.
Let's talk about the pitcher tonight, though. What he did. I mean, you were just discussing the conversation you had with him on the mound.
Tommy's a great captain, a great leader. He has those types of performances these last 3, starting with what he did in Los Angeles. That's when everybody got to see what's inside of him. He opened up his chest, and there's a kid on the mound who's got flu, he's got a touch of pneumonia, but he's emptying the tank and then some for his team. And that's who he is. He's a guy who puts the team ahead of how he feels, ahead of personal interests, ahead of himself. And to have a truly selfless kid like that as a captain and as a leader is an inspiration to all younger kids. You can work to try to achieve his level of greatness and his level of performance, but everyone has seen what it takes. Everybody wants to be good, but not everybody's willing to put in the work, and Tommy has put in the work. And so to know that he's inspired a bunch of young pitchers that are coming up in the wings behind him and that have all seen firsthand just how much he puts into it and the 100% effort that goes into it and the total team first attitude that goes behind it, that's worth its weight in gold. And we're not even talking about baseball, but that's what fuels his performance on the field, because he knows he's got the total trust of his teammates behind him and in the dugout.
You spent some time with him on the mound before him out? What did you say to him?
I told him all of that right
All
there.
that. Right?
At what point did you guys decide who was going to speak to the team before they left for the team bus, or before they got to the ballpark today?
Well, we've had a couple members of the 1962 team that have been pretty consistent at all of our games, even our home games, and so we knew John Kerr and Dick Honig were here in attendance, and so just thought it was fitting that we're wearing the 1962 uniforms and playing in the finals, and just get the opportunity to hear from them because they're such an inspiration, and that's a team that they told us today they won the national championship 57 years ago, and for 50 out of those 57 years their team still gets together, and that's remarkable. That's what it's all about. Teams that win together stay together, and that team will forever be bookmarked in the Michigan history book, and I think ultimately that's what this team wants to do as well. This team wants to be one of those teams that future teams 57 years from now look back to. Someone's got a grandkid playing Michigan baseball, probably Jimmy Kerr, right? And he's coming in to speak to the next generation of Michigan baseball players. So that's what it's all about. It's about adding as much value to a program as you possibly can.
Did you know Jimmy Kerr had this kind of power?
Well, after his first 3 years, I thought we might need to start working on his speed. And then he went, and instead of playing summer ball, he went and got in the weight room and worked with Jason Cole, our strength coach. And Jimmy totally dedicated himself to getting stronger, getting more physical. And when he came back in the fall, it was an eye-popping display of where did that come from? I mean, he just totally committed himself to adding as much explosion and power and physicality into his game that he possibly could. And so what we've seen is, yes, it's a kid who's stronger, he's older, he's more mature, he's had college at-bats, but at the end of the day, he's fueled by 2 generations before him of Michigan baseball players, amazing blue blood that runs through his veins, and a deep appreciation for being on a team that wants to leave a legacy. So he understands. He's voted unanimous captain, and he has gotten just some huge clutch hits to propel us to this point.
How big was Jordan Brewer's throw?
Oh, that was awesome. That was, you're talking about a kid who is extremely fast, rounding second. Austin Martin is as fast as they come. And the only way he was going to be out was a throw in the air and a strike. And it was a clutch throw because they were mounting a comeback. It's a very good team. They have as explosive of a lineup as there is. And to get that throw in that spot, the clutch throw is no different than a clutch hit that scores a run, because that throw saved a run. So really, that was a huge play at the time to keep the momentum on our side.
It really seemed to energize the team. Tommy even told me, he said that was the loudest he thinks he's ever screamed on a baseball field in his life. After what he had done, it was his teammate that he was yelling the loudest for. I mean, just to have that whole energy of the team. What does it say about these guys and what they were able to do tonight?
Well, they're totally connected totally connected with each other, engaged in each other. Again, when you can shrink the moment and you can just immerse yourself into your teammates, then you're allowed the mental freedom to act like a kid on a playground out there. And that's why we want to play loose, because we want that field to look like one gigantic playground. And it has to happen. It has to be authentic, and it is for our guys. They are truly enjoying themselves out there in every single thing that they're doing. And so when one of their teammates makes a big play, they celebrate it, as they should. And they genuinely care for each other, and they genuinely get fired up when someone does something awesome.
You talked about their explosion. They're backed into a corner now. You guys left a lot of runners on base today. Is that something you can do even better? And did you tell those guys, hey, we can take advantage of those
I
opportunities?
did tell them that. I told them that, we really happy we got the win. Talked about Tommy Henry and talked about, we could be even better with runners in scoring position and take advantage of our scoring opportunities. It's more along the lines of, that was an opportunity. That was an area for improvement tonight. Is cashing in when we have those run scoring opportunities. Because, I'm glad we got a lot of hits, and I'm glad we got some big hits when we did. But taking advantage of those scoring opportunities are going to be huge. In a series like this.
Erik, you're 1-1 away. They know they're 1-1 away. Do you talk about that in the postgame?
They know, but no, I don't, because that's too big. That's again, if we need to shrink the moment to be just about baseball, shrink the moment to be just about them immersing themselves with each other. We've made the moment too big in the past, like I mentioned with Corvallis in Los Angeles, and it's just not a good recipe when you start to have awareness of all these other things. And if you can just make it about baseball, just make it about how they play and how much fun they're having with each other, that's the recipe to come out on top, and that's what we're going to continue to stress and continue to do. Luckily, I feel like I've handed the keys over, and we've got great leaders on this team, and they're the ones driving that message home. I may say it, but they're the ones doing it. It's one thing if I'm saying it and they're acting a different way, but we've got some unbelievable upperclassmen on this team that are just doing a really good job, and you can just see the looseness, you can see the positive energy, you can see the smiles on their faces. It's genuine, and it's as a coach, that's what you're chasing. You're chasing those celebratory moments for the kids, and I love seeing them compete. I love seeing them have some fun. I love seeing them even when we get knocked down and we get back up every time. I mean, it's just there's a lot to enjoy about this particular group. They're taking everybody for a heck of a ride.
You joked after LA that there were more fans there than Ray Fisher. What did tonight feel like? I mean, let's go Blue Chance.
Oh, it's to see the Michigan fans come out the way they have and support our team through this postseason run. I understand why they don't come out to Ray Fisher. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the coaches and when my wife doesn't want to come in February and March, I get it. But to see the supporters, to see, we had Juwan Howard here, Kim Barnes-Rico, Hutch was here, our entire administration, Shaka is here, and then in addition to all the families, all the people who dropped what they're doing. I mean, I can't tell you how many former baseball players are here from 7 generations. I mean, you've got guys who just got finished within the last couple of years, to guys who played in the 1960s that are here watching us and here because they want to be a part of this. And that, it doesn't get much better than that. So I think for our players, again, one of the first goals we set out to achieve was to add as much value to our storied program that we possibly could. And now to see so many members of our program, of our storied program's history, come out and support us, that's a dream come true as well.
Jordan Brewer added, he credited his time at Lincoln Trail for teaching him